Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. And before I get into today's topic, as you guys can see, I am wearing one of my designs from my clothing line. This is the Healing Journey sweatshirt. I just came out with a whole bunch of new designs that I really like. I think it turned out really well, and I'm actually really excited to talk about it and show it off more. But yeah, if you guys like this sweatshirt, feel free to check out the merch shelf on my channel, as well as the description as well, if you guys are interested in checking out, this design or any of my other designs that look very similar to this. So anyway, I am here to talk about something that has been all on the internet and in my opinion has sparked up the gender wars once again. So for those of y'all who don't know, I'm sure you do if you clicked on this video. Basically, there's this whole situation going on between Keke Palmer and the father of her child, Darius Jackson. So long story short, Keke Palmer attended an Usher concert. I believe it was his Vegas residency that a lot of people have gone to and have had great reviews for it, actually. But I think he's actually starting to wrap up that residency. But essentially, she was there, and the outfit that she had on was like a sheer looking dress. You could argue that the outfit was a little revealing. Like when she turned around, you can see her butt through the sheer. But that is what she was wearing, right? And a video surfaced of her pretty much hugged up on Usher, singing to Usher, as would be expected at an Usher concert. But Darius didn't take too kindly to that, and he basically tweeted out a response to this clip of her, hugged up on Usher, saying, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." And you know what's funny? When he first tweeted this out, he could have got away with it low-key, because when he first tweeted it out, you actually had people that were on his side and saying that oh, he might be joking, this might be the way that they talk to each other. People had chalked it up to, this is probably a joke, he's probably not being serious, this is probably just the way that they talk to each other, in a playful manner. But then he doubled down. And so it's not only did you dig yourself a big grave, you continued to dig yourself an even bigger grave by doubling down. So basically, when he doubled down, he said the following: "We live in a generation where a man of the family does not want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." Now, this double down pissed off a lot of folks. And I could see why, right? Because although you could argue that some of what he's saying is valid, I think the part that people couldn't quite get with is him saying a man of the family doesn't want the wife, and this is my family and my representation. Sir, y'all aren't married. And people talk down about marriage a lot nowadays, which is why I'm starting to kind of lose hope in regards to marriage, because I just feel like the generation that I'm a part of doesn't really mess with marriage and commitment like that. But this is why people are like, if you really care about somebody and you really value them and you see them as a part of you, and you're working towards building a family, part of building that family is also establishing that commitment and making a commitment to your partner, a type of commitment that would also protect you and this family that you're supposed to be building up. And so people were like, well, listen, technically you don't have a family because you didn't marry the girl. You guys are boyfriend and girlfriend, you're a baby daddy. It's you can't sit up here and, say these things, especially because he said wife. He said doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids. Keke Palmer is not his wife. So I don't even know why he used that terminology when we all know that they are not married. And people were saying too, oh, well, how do you know if they're married? And we would know. Come on. First of all, most marriages are public record, but also they have both identified each other as, boyfriend and girlfriend, significant other, father of my child, mother of my child. They've never used any terms to indicate that they were married. So I think it's safe to assume that they are not married. And so here's the thing, right? Because now the gender wars are ensuing. It's so funny because I'm starting to realize more and more that people on the internet will literally defend anything. They will criticize anything. And up until this point, I have never, ever seen people talk down on Keke Palmer. I feel like Keke Palmer is one of those celebrities that for the most part has a pretty good reputation among at least the black community, but just among people in general, among the public. I feel like she has a really good public image. I feel like people don't have much negative things to say about Keke Palmer, but man, did people come out the woodworks with this one. Literally, I've seen so many men calling her a whore, calling her, a 304. Still don't halfway know what that means. But, just indicating that she's, for the streets, and all because of an outfit that she wore, and because she was hugging Usher, who is a celebrity, who is someone that she probably grew up listening to, who she, I don't want to say idolizes, but, it's Usher. It's Usher. The same way it's, a lot of these other celebrities. And so I just find it interesting that men went as far as to say that Keke Palmer is for the streets just because of an outfit that she wore. I think it's insane, right? Now, I want to unpack this from the beginning, right? Was Keke Palmer's outfit inappropriate? I saw a lot of people saying that this type of attire is normal for an Usher concert, just a concert in general. Also considering the fact that she's a celebrity and, celebrities tend to dress a certain way. Here's the thing. I'm not here to tell anybody what they should wear, what they should not wear. I don't think that what you wear indicates who you are as a person and your morals and your values. I find it very odd that because, and I'll get to it later. I think that this is more than just the dress that Darius is upset about. But people online are making it about the dress because that's what he said. Here's the thing, and people have mentioned this too, about how nowadays, wearing more revealing clothing, it is kind of the norm nowadays. I'll say for me, and again, this is just me, I think I've clarified at this point that I'm not judging Keke Palmer and what she wore. If it were me, I just wouldn't wear the type of outfit in general because I just don't feel comfortable showing that much skin, even if it is like sheer. And so, but again, if that's a type of, attire that people normally wear at these concerts, then sure. I've never been to a concert actually, especially not a Usher concert. And I don't know what they're wearing when they're going to these, Vegas residencies. And so I don't know, maybe what she wore was up to code with what everybody else was wearing. And so I don't know. I think that it is subjective as to whether or not Keke Palmer's outfit was appropriate or not. Now, I also want to get into his response. Was Darius's response appropriate? I would say no, and here's why. And I get it. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. Throughout the years, I've had to, learn how to communicate my feelings in a way that's not combative, that's not tearing down the other person, and coming from this is how I feel, in a way that is very healthy, right? But not everybody knows how to communicate in a healthy way, and I have had to deal with several friendships and relationships where I've almost had to teach people how to talk to me because a lot of people just aren't taught how to communicate. And I think with Darius, he didn't really know how to communicate what he felt without letting his ego get in the way, and it came off very distasteful. This should have never been on social media. And I think we all can attest to this. Some of us. Because of course you have those subset of people who said that because Keke embarrassed him in public, that he has every right to call her out in public. Again, that's up for debate. I personally don't think Keke embarrassed him at all. I don't think anybody saw that video and even mentioned Darius or mentioned that she was embarrassing him. I think he made the optics look like that, but I don't think that that's how people looked at it. So I don't agree that Keke Palmer embarrassed him in public, right? But either way, these sort of things should not be discussed in the public eye at all. Had he dealt with this behind closed doors, I feel like this would have went completely different. Because the thing about, putting stuff on social media is that you're bringing in everybody else's opinions and what they think. And as much as people can act as if, oh, well, I don't care what other people think. If you're putting it on social media, you want to hear feedback and you want to see if other people are on your side. And I think that's what it was. I think he thought that he could shame her and make her look bad, and it ended up backfiring on him. So that's why it's always better, especially when you're in a relationship, to just keep everything to yourself or keep everything in between you and your partner and maybe one or two trusted people. Because as soon as you start bringing other people into your relationship, it can cause issues. And even just speaking for myself, right? When I was in a relationship just last year, me and my boyfriend at the time, we weren't always seeing eye to eye. We had our issues, but no one ever knew about it. And I feel like that's how it should be. Even if we were having our little stuff behind the scenes and things weren't, always good, we still stayed a united front. And so whenever we had to, go to something together or show our faces somewhere, you couldn't look at us and tell that we were having issues. Like, we always came in as a united front. We didn't make our personal business entertainment for other people. Like, you keep that behind closed doors. And I really think that if Darius has learned anything from the situation, is deal with it behind closed doors. Because I'm sure they could have had that conversation behind closed doors where he's like, listen, because it can also be assumed, I would hope, that he just didn't see what she wore before she left the house. And I'm sure that if he did, he probably would have said something then and there. And so, yeah, but in the response itself, right, it really did feel like he was shaming her. Him throwing, you're a mom. Right, it was mom shaming her. It was saying like, oh, like, you are not representing yourself in the best way as a mother. And that's a low blow. Like, you don't say that to your partner, especially not in public. And to think that, with him being comfortable enough to say that online, imagine what he would have said behind closed doors. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what rubbed people the wrong way and what made people look at him as possibly manipulative and controlling. And I'm not saying that he is, I don't like to throw those terms around, but, it gives off, let me put you in your place. You're a mother, like, you shouldn't be doing this. And, I find it to be also very hypocritical, because this is the thing that a lot of men out there that, are out here calling Keke all kinds of names, none of them are acknowledging the fact that Darius himself has posted videos. I don't know if he's posted pictures, but there's definitely a video where he posted Keke literally clapping her cheeks in a video. He posted it on his own page. And so to sit up here and act like, you care so much about how she's representing herself, you didn't care about that then when you were posting it. But it's funny because I did see someone on Twitter mention how, why is he okay with him posting Keke in that manner? But when she's posted like that herself, why was it an issue? And someone brought up the fact that that also could be a control thing. He didn't mind posting Keke himself because he was in control of that. He was in control of her and, how he portrayed her to the public. But now that she's out doing her own thing and posting stuff for herself, he doesn't have any control over that. And so maybe, again, that's where the ego kicked in. And, now all of a sudden he has an issue with it, when honestly and truthfully, and I think this is what it really boils down to, right? Was he really upset about what she was wearing? Or was he upset that she was hugged up on Usher? I believe in my gut that he is more upset with the fact that she was hugged up on Usher. I don't think the dress really had anything to do with it. I think he used it as a cop-out. And this is where I feel communication should have came into play, because he tried to use one thing to mask how he was really feeling instead of just, again, having that conversation behind closed doors and say how he really feels. He didn't like seeing his woman being all hugged up on another man. Now, again, people have different, and that's the thing. It's like there's no one way to deal with these situations. It really is case by case and relationship by relationship. What works for you may not work for someone else, and vice versa. When it comes to celebrities, there might be some people who are like, I don't care if they're super famous. I don't care if it's Beyonce. I don't care if it's Michael B. Jordan. You better not be touching up on anybody. But then there's other people who are like, I mean, listen, I wouldn't care if they had the opportunity to do that. Like, I'll be pushing them along, you know? And so people have different viewpoints in regards to that. But here's the thing. Darius has every single right to feel how he feels, but he is responsible for how he acts upon those feelings. And the way that he acted was, again, very childish, very disrespectful. I think it's just really sad, like, how all this is playing out, because Keke, you know, she had just said the day before that she was so in love with this man. Like, it seemed like they were building something really cute. Like, they had a cute little family going. Like, she is happy and thriving, and it's just unfortunate that, you know, it led to all of this, because I'm sure you guys have now seen they've unfollowed each other on social media. At one point he deactivated his page, but then reactivated it. It's a whole mess, and I really do feel bad for Keke, because, you know, she just wanted to be happy and, you know, enjoy a night out with her friends, and it led to all of this social media mess. And like I said, I'm not saying that Darius is completely wrong in how he feels, because, you know, again, for me, I wouldn't do that, celebrity or not. Like, if I am in a relationship, I'm not going to be hugged up on somebody. I truly don't believe that Keke did that, thinking that it was in, you know, disrespecting her relationship or disrespecting him. And I really think it was light, it was playful, it wasn't meant to be taken as something serious. I don't think they were gonna, like, you know, go backstage afterwards. Like, I really don't think it was that deep. Was it a little much? To some people. And again, it's subjective. Some people find that to be perfectly fine, and then there's other people who they wouldn't tolerate that at all. And both of those are okay. Both of those are completely okay. And I think that, again, Darius and Keke should have had that conversation amongst themselves about what's okay, what's not okay, and what those boundaries look like for their relationship. And if one of them, you know, doesn't agree, or they can't be on the same accord, then yeah, they probably need to go separate ways then. But also, I will say this, I don't like rooting for people to break up. Now, yes, obviously, if there is abuse involved, if there's cheating, if there's any type of mistreatment going on in the relationship, yes, of course you should leave. But just in general, I don't rejoice, and I don't get happy seeing families break up. I made the argument that it's not technically a family if you're not married, but, you know, when there's kids involved, I mean, there is a little bit of that, you know, you hope that they work it out, because there is a child involved. She just had this kid, and so I would hate for Keke Palmer, this early in her life and this early in her career and this early in her relationship, for her to become a single parent already. I would hate that for her. And so, as much as, you know, again, if Darius is showing signs of being controlling and being manipulative and not being supportive of her and trying to shame her and make her, you know, feel bad about herself, then yes, of course, Keke should not be with somebody like that, and she should move on and find somebody better. But I hate that this happened in general. Like, I hate that, you know, it led to this. Like, all Keke wanted to do was, like, be happy, have a little family, and, you know, for it to, you know, again, they've taken their pictures off of their social media. Like, it's looking like they're done. Like, it's looking like they're broken up. And there's a possibility that they aren't. There's a possibility that, you know, they're just keeping us out of their business and they don't want to address it. And, you know, maybe Keke put, you know, I don't want to say put him in his place, but maybe Keke was like, look, we're going to deal with this behind closed doors, but no more of that social media stuff. And we're just going to keep each other off of each other's pages, so people aren't constantly looking and speculating. It could be that as well. But it also could be that the internet got to them and now they are broken up. And if that is the case, again, I just have a hard time being happy about that. Like, yes, it's good if she's getting away from a partner that's not meant for her. Yes, of course. But just in general, seeing her, you know, potentially lose somebody that she really cared about and someone that she was building life with, it's always going to be unfortunate. And I just wish none of this would have happened. And I just wish that he would have kept all of that behind closed doors, and he would have communicated a little bit better about how he felt overall. But yeah, I don't know. Time will tell in regards to whether or not they are still together, if they are broken up. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you think that Keke was in the wrong? Do you think that Darius was in the wrong? Do you think they were both in the wrong? What would you do in this situation? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.